Imagine, if you will, a single day on a pale blue hurtling through the infinite black canvas of space, where we pause not just to stuff ourselves with turkey and pie, but to whisper thanks to the very stars that forged our bones. This is Thanksgiving, not the sanitized tale of buckled hats and harmonious feasts, but a cosmic reckoning, a universal nod to the wild, improbable generosity of existence itself. Welcome to Feast of the Forgotten Stars, reclaiming Thanksgiving as humanity's ode to the cosmos. I'm your guide through this galactic gratitude, and over the next 10 minutes, we'll unravel the threads of history, science, and wonder that make this holiday more than a meal. It's a portal to the universe's hidden heart. Let's start at the beginning, but not the one etched in school books with pilgrims clasping hands across a groaning table. Picture 1621, the air thick with salt from the Atlantic and the earthy tang of turned soil in Plymouth. No golden-robed settlers here. These were ragged survivors, half-starved after a winter that clawed away 90% of their company. The Wampanoag, those stewards of the land who'd watched ships scar the horizon, didn't arrive as saviors in the myth. They were neighbors, drawn by the crack of gunfire mistaken for war cries. What unfolded wasn't a scripted first Thanksgiving, but a raw, 3-day sprawl of shared venison, stewed fowl. Not turkey, mind you, but ducks and geese plucked from the wild, corn mush sweetened with maple, and fish hauled from streams that still remembered the Ice Age. But here's the cosmic twist. No one's whispering over cranberry sauce. Every morsel on that table was stardust reclaimed. The carbon in that corn, born in the fiery bellies of ancient suns, exploded outward in supernovae and sprinkled across our fragile world like forgotten jewels. The nitrogen in the deer meat, a gift from cosmic cataclysms billions of years before the first human eye blinked. Those early feasters, whether English or indigenous, were unknowingly toasting the universe's alchemy, the same process that sculpted galaxies and gifted us breathable air. Thanksgiving, in its truest form, isn't about one group's thanks. It's the echo of every atom saying, "I made it here against all odds." The Wampanoag, with their deep knowledge of seasons and spirits, understood this intuitively. The land wasn't owned, it was borrowed from the stars, a temporary loan to be honored with reciprocity, not conquest. Fast forward through the fog of history, and we hit the misconceptions that clog our collective memory, like overcooked stuffing. Forget the black and white engravings of pious pilgrims. Those folks wore vibrant reds and blues, their shoes practical leather, no shiny buckles in sight. That's a Victorian invention, tacked on like fake holly to a plastic wreath. And Lincoln? He didn't pluck the holiday from thin air in 1863 amid Civil War smoke. No, days of Thanksgiving were patchwork prayers in New England, often fasts of solemn reflection after disasters, not feasts. Sarah Josepha Hale, that tireless editor with a pen sharper than a carving knife, campaigned for decades to nationalize it, weaving it into a tapestry of unity when the nation teetered on fracture. But even she borrowed from indigenous roots, where harvest Thanksgivings pulsed with dances and stories long before Europe dreamed of colonies. Now, peel back the layers further to the unvarnished edges. The Wampanoag didn't teach the pilgrim survival out of charity alone. Alliances were forged in mutual curiosity and necessity, laced with the undercurrent of unease that would soon erupt into bloodshed. By the 1630s, those same tables of shared bounty gave way to epidemics and land grabs, turning gratitude into grief. Yet, in this shadowed history lies the real power. Thanksgiving as a mirror, reflecting not just abundance, but the fragility of it all. It's a holiday born of survival's sharp edge, reminding us that thanks isn't passive. It's an act of defiance against entropy, The universe's slow unraveling. Every year, as we carve into that bird. Yes, turkey became the star by the 1800s, thanks to its abundance and that quirky gobble that sounds like laughter. We're invoking a ritual older than America, the human impulse to gather, to name the gifts before the dark rolls in again. But let's elevate this, shall we? Because what if gratitude isn't just folklore? It's physics, neurology, a force that rewires the cosmos from the inside out. Science, that unflinching telescope into the why of things, tells us thanks isn't fluffy sentiment. It's a biochemical rebellion. Picture your brain as a bustling neural city. When you dwell on gratitude, the prefrontal cortex lights up like a supernova, that command center of empathy and foresight flooding with dopamine and serotonin. Studies from places like the Greater Good Science Center at Berkeley show it shrinks the amygdala, our fear factory, turning down the volume on stress hormones like cortisol. One experiment had folks jotting 3 good things daily. Sleep improved, depression dipped, even heart rate steadied. It's not magic. It's measurable, a hack for the hardware of happiness. And here's where it gets truly cosmic. Gratitude might tweak our very code. Epigenetics, that frontier where environment kisses genes, suggests thankful thoughts can flip switches on DNA expression, dialing down inflammation genes and boosting resilience ones. A study in psychoneuroendocrinology found just 15 minutes of gratitude meditation thickened the right inferior temporal gyrus, the brain's gratitude hub, making positivity stickier over time. Imagine that at your table. As Aunt Karen passes the mashed potatoes, you're not just nourishing bodies. You're etching cosmic appreciation into your cells, a quiet evolution towards species-wide wonder. The universe, vast and violent, didn't have to cough up conscious beings capable of reflection. Yet here we are, 13.8 billion years after the Big Bang's polite bang, evolved to feel this pull toward thanks. It's as if the stars, in their silent spin, programmed us for it. A feedback loop where gratitude begets more gifts, rippling out like gravitational waves. Of course, no cosmic feast is complete without peering ahead to Thanksgiving's yet uncarved. Envision 2050, a rover on Mars, its solar panels dusted with red regolith, beaming back holographic tables where colonists link arms across void light years. No turkey there, perhaps lab-grown venison from algal vats or 3D printed cornbread flavor with Martian basil. NASA's already pondering it. Their deep space habitat designs include cultural continuity modules for holidays, lest we forget the pull of pi and zero-G. Or zoom further. A Dyson swarm around a distant sun, humanity's tendrils wrapping stars, where Thanksgiving evolves into Galactic Gratitude Day, a network-wide pause to honor black holes that recycle matter, quasars that seed heavy elements, and the dark energy pushing it all apart just so we can reach out and touch. But back to earthbound tables, because the most viral stories, the ones that hook hearts and rack up views, aren't grand theories. They're the messy, marrow-deep tales of us. Remember the viral clip from last year? That shaky phone footage of a family dinner derailed by a dad's wild confession, masks peeling off like onion skins, laughter exploding amid the screams? Or the quiet ones, like the Asian American writer sharing grief-woven thanks for a badly drawn turkey that bridged generations, turning loss into lore. These aren't anomalies. They're the essence. Thanksgiving thrives on chaos. The burnt rolls that spark inside jokes. The political riffs patched with second helpings. The prodigal cousin who shows up with stories sharper than giblet gravy. Let me spin one for you, proprietary as a newly discovered exoplanet. In a quiet suburb orbiting Chicago, there's Elena, a quantum physicist whose days unravel particle collisions at Fermilab. Her family's table is a microverse. her abuela's tamales smuggling mole into the turkey, her brother's drone footage of autumn leaves swirling like binary stars, her kid's wild theory that the universe is one big Thanksgiving, with dark matter as the invisible stuffing holding it together. Last year, as rain lashed the windows, Elena confessed her fear, the collider's hum echoing her doubt that we'll ever crack the why of existence. Silence fell, thicker than fog, until her abuela slid over a worn photo. Her own grandmother, fleeing war-torn lands with nothing but a recipe scrawled on newsprint. "We give thanks," she said, "not because it's easy, but because the stars didn't quit on us." That night, they danced in the kitchen, tamale wrappers crunching underfoot, Elena's equations forgotten in the glow of shared absurdity. It's stories like this that go viral. Not for shock, but for the spark, proof that in our finite flicker, we touch the infinite. And what are the shadowed sides? The ones algorithms shy from but souls crave. For many indigenous folks, this day isn't feast but remembrance, a tally of villages razed after that fragile peace. Pequot in 1637, where thanks rang hollow over ashes. Yet even here, resilience blooms. The National Day of Mourning on Cape Cod, where voices rise not in erasure, but reclamation, weaving gratitude for ancestors' unbowed spirits into a fiercer thanks. It's a duality the cosmos knows well. Creation and destruction in eternal tango, supernovae birthing beauty from blaze. To honor it fully, our Thanksgiving must expand. Invite the full spectrum, from joy's roar to sorrow's hush, because true gratitude devours the whole pie, crust and all. As we wind toward the close of this cosmic carve-up, pause with me. Feel the weight of 100 billion galaxies wheeling overhead, each a banquet we never earned. The oxygen in your lungs, stellar ash, the laughter bubbling up, a quantum quirk. This holiday, proprietary to no nation but universal as gravity, calls us to more than calories. It's a launch code for wonder. So raise your glass, not to myths unchallenged, but to the real feast, the improbable us, hurtling together through the void, thankful for the collision. Next time you spear a cranberry, think of it as a ruby from a red giant's death throes. When the pie crust flakes, see the big bangs echo in butter and flour. And in the quiet after, when dishes stack like ancient monoliths, whisper to the stars, thanks for the ride. Because in this vast, velvet dark, that's the view that sticks. The one that turns a single day into eternity's most engaging story. Happy Thanksgiving, fellow Stardust. Let's eat, reflect, and rock it on.